Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Bashimi Al-Shabarakatam. I'm Social Kazak with the Sons of Zion Israelites.
And I'm Brother Aharon.
And the title of today's lesson is Trusting in Riches. All right, some of our people rely heavily on the prosperity of this world, man. All right, and also, when you put your trust primarily in these riches, it does something to you. It does something to your spirit. All right. It decreases your faith, and it does a disservice to your walk, man. All right, so let me get the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17.
I got the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shah, giving thanks to God and the Father by him.
That's right. Everything we do in word or deed, we do all in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right. And what we do is we want to glorify the Most High God by way of his son, the Messiah. So that's why we say, Kal Halal Yahweh, by Hashem wa Malak Yahweh Shah. All right, in the Paleo Hebrew, the Hebrew tongue of which our forefathers spake. All right. Let me get the book of Psalms, chapter 49 and verse number 2. Baba Shah.
The book of Psalms, chapter 49 and verse 2. But low and high, rich and poor together, my mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of the heart shall be of understanding.
All right, so to the low, to people of low estate, the people who don't have any money in their pocket, to the people who have money in their pocket, that are doing good financially. All right, the Most High God is speaking to you. All right, both of you. Read on.
I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open my dark sand upon the heart. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heels shall compass about me?
Right. Go to verse 6.
Verse 6, they that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches.
You people, all right, that boast themselves in your riches, the prosperity of this world. You think you're doing good. You think you got everything together because you got a lot of money in your pocket. It's talking to you, right? Read on.
None of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him.
Right. So in that day of judgment, all right, if you're looking out for your brother, all right, it's not going to do any service to him. And neither can you take what you made in this world, all right, with you when it's time for you to answer to the judgment. All right. When it's time for you to go before the Most High God. OK, it's unprofitable. It's not going to do you any good. Right. Read down to 8.
OK, verse 8. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceaseth forever, that he should still live forever and not see corruption.
Right. So it's important, all right, that you take this thing seriously. It's important that you take this walk seriously. OK, because in that time of judgment, all right, the riches of this world, the prosperity of this world, it's not going to do you any good. All right. Let me get Psalms 37 and verse 3, Baba Kashar.
The book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse number 3. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
Everything that you desire, everything that you need, everything that you want, the Most High God will give to you if you trust in him and not the riches and prosperity of this world. Okay? I cannot stress it enough and put enough emphasis on this. Trust me, I was a bag chaser. Okay? A few years ago, I was all about a bag. Okay? But what that does is it does a disservice to your spirit. Because when you trust in that, all right, you're putting that as your God. All right? It becomes idolatry. And it decreases your faith in the Most High God, who is responsible for everything that you're going after, everything that you have as well, right? Read down to 4.
Verse 4, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
Trust what?
Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
That's it on that?
That's it on
You're supposed to trust in the Most High God, not the riches of this world. not your ability to obtain, all right, a bigger paycheck. Okay. Let me get Sirach 40 from the top, and we're gonna read down to 4, and then I'm gonna pass it over.
The book of Sirach 40, chapter 1. 40 and verse 1. Great travail is created for every man.
Every man, not just some, right? Not just a man that is of low estate, not just a man that is underneath 45 in Gulf Bank, but also for the man that is staying in River Oaks. Also for the man that's staying in Hollywood. All right, read on.
And an heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam, from the day that they go out of their mother's womb to the day that they return to their mother's, to the mother of all things.
All right, you were born, all right, needing the help of your oppressor. All right, the birth certificate was needed in order to be processed, right? All the way up until it's time for you to meet your maker, until it's time for you to make funeral arrangements, until it's time for you to get a death certificate, till it's time for you to write your will, from when you're born up until the time of you returning to the mother of all things. Great travail is going to come upon you, right? Read on.
Their imagination of things to come and the day of death trouble their thoughts,
Right.
and cause fear of heart. From him that sitteth on the throne of glory unto him that is humble in earth and ashes.
Right. So from LeBron James all the way to Lil Travion that's dunking little paper balls in a trash can on his knees, right? The man with 6 figures to the man that has $6 to his name. Great travail is going to come on them. So I bring that account out. Why? Because it makes no sense to kill yourself over a paycheck, putting your trust in riches, right? Thinking that your paycheck is what you need to survive, right? Working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Now I understand you gotta provide for your family. There's no wrong with that. Him that does not work does not eat, right? But when you actually idolize this, when you prioritize this as your God, when you call yourself a bag chaser, you have to understand the element, the weight of what you're doing, right? The actual horrible sin of which you're actually partaking in, which you're committing, right? Because it makes no sense to make this as your God. It makes no sense for you to fully invest in these riches, right? Why? Because of what we're going to get into later. I'm going to pass it over to you.
Con. And let me get the book of Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 17, right? And I'm going to bring out this precept real quick. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 11 and verse number 4. Profit not in the day of wrath. I'm slacking. Riches profit not. I'm going to start up at verse 3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Hey, so it don't matter if you rich or poor, man. You got to keep your integrity, man. Job was a very wealthy man, and he had integrity. When he became a very poor and lowly man, a sickly man, guess what? He had integrity. And the Lord gave him double what he had, right? Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver it from death. So riches are not going to save you when the Lord starts judging this place. When Jacob's trouble kicks off, riches, money, diamonds, jewels, cars, your clothes, none of those things are going to save you. None of them are going to save you, right? Go read that for me.
Before I jump in there, I wanted to kind of lay me back off of what he was saying, man. He said, keep your integrity. Okay? What do we see these celebrities doing right now?
Folly.
Right? We just seen Tyrese in a red dress.
For some money.
We seeing all of these big celebrities who prioritize riches and glory of this world, how they drop their integrity, that they drop their manhood for $1. Right? They're fully invested after the bag. This is the ultimate result of what you're doing now of a low estate, right? Because we're not rich. We don't own these high rises. No, but we're putting that as our goal. Well, the direct result of fully investing in those goals, right? You drop your integrity. You're willing to drop everything that is important, your morals, your standards for this financial position, right? What you want?
Hey, go to Ezekiel 7 and verse 12.
This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse number 12. The time has come The day draweth near.
The time is coming. The day is drawing near. Jacob's trouble, tribulation, when all hell breaks loose, right?
Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn. For wrath is upon all the multitude thereof.
See that? Read.
For the seller shall not return to that which is sold, although they were yet alive. For the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return. Neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life.
Read.
They have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle. For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof.
Hey, the wrath of the Lord is going to be upon everybody, right? Nobody going to be worrying about buying and selling.
Nope.
Right? It's going to be judgment taking place. 10,000 falling on the right, 1,000 falling on the left. Right?
Yep.
It's going to be judgment everywhere. Death and destruction, pestilence, evil, all manner of things. Read.
Verse 15. The sword is without, and the pestilence, and the famine within.
Hey, it's going to be pestilence, right? Diseases like COVID and all kind of other things going on, right? Famine, no food, right? Read.
He that is in the field shall die with the sword.
Hey, people going to be getting slain, right? Read.
And he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him.
They're going to starve or get a disease, right? Read.
But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity. All hands shall be feeble.
Everybody's hands are going to be weak. Ain't nobody going to have no strength to deliver from the judgment of the Lord, right? Read.
And all knees shall be weak as water.
It's going to be hard and gruesome to stand up on your own feet like a man. For so much fear and so much destruction and evil and death going to be around you, right?
All right, verse 16. But they that is, verse 18. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them.
Horror shall cover them, right? Read.
And shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. Verse 19, they shall cast their silver in the streets.
What's going to happen?
They shall cast their silver in the streets.
Read.
And their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity.
Hey, it's the stumbling block. Hey, this money is your stumbling block that causes you to sin. That get the bag by any means necessary is causing you to sin. And the wrath of the Lord is going to be upon you for that. And that silver and gold, them dollars, them dollar signs, them credit cards, ain't gonna be no Apple Pay. Ain't gonna be no Zelle, no Cash App. Ain't none of that stuff gonna matter. Ain't nothing gonna be able to save you from judgment, man. When all hell breaks loose, man. Ain't nothing gonna be able to save you when things hit the fan, right? Let me get this precept real quick. Let me get this. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. I'm gonna start at the top. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come nigh, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened. Because the Lord say he's going to make everything dark. It's going to be dark, man. Ain't going to be no lights, man. One day these lights going to cut off and they ain't cutting back on, man. Right? When all hell breaks loose, right? Nor the clouds return after the rain. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders, the workers, right? The grinders cease because they are few. Ain't gonna be no more work, right? When Jacob's trouble, that tribulation start, nobody is gonna be working, man. You're not gonna be able to go to McDonald's, go to the store, go to Walmart, right? The money is gonna be useless. That's why it's gonna be thrown into the streets, right? The grinders are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. when the sound of the grinding is low. And everybody going to be up in their house. Ain't nobody going to be trying to go out because it ain't going to be nothing but evil out. And ain't going to be nowhere to go and nothing to do, nothing to buy. Right? And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Right? Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be burdened, and desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. However, the silver card is, I mean, well, that's it on that, man. Basically, ain't gonna be nothing to buy, nothing to sell, no money. The money's gonna be worthless.
Right.
Right? And that's just gonna be what it is. So don't put your faith and your hope in this dollar, man, and this money and this currency. Right? And with that, I yield.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about all of the different things of which the brother just brought out, right? All of the different things that's coming to America, right? When you watch these end of the world movies, okay, when you watch The Walking Dead, that sitcom, right? When you watch Cell starring Samuel Jackson, right? When you watch San Andreas with Dwayne Johnson, when you watch all of these different end of the world movies, which they basically, our oppressor, the white man, he took from books like Matthew 24, all of those different things that's coming to America, he got this out of this.
Yeah.
He got those things out of this. That's what created his imagination to make these movies, right? But not to go off on a tangent. When you think about all of these things, the multitude of the different things that's going to happen at the end of the world, if somebody came up to you and said, hey, man, look, I got this amount of money. Bro, I don't want that. I want firewood. Do you have clothes, soap, food, all of these different food, water, all of these different things, the things that matter. The riches, the prosperity, this currency is nothing but paper, man. And you're dying over this. You're putting your morals and standards in the wastebasket for this, right? Let me get the book of Matthew chapter 6, right? And we're going to start at verse 19, all right?
All right. The book of Matthew chapter 6 and verse number 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth,
right?
Where moth and rust do it corrupt.
What's gonna rust and rot? All right. All of these riches, the silver, the gold, or what you're dying for, the things that's passing you by. Every single week, you looking for Friday. Friday, I'm trying to get paid. That's payday. And as you continuously look towards every Friday, next thing you know, 5 years then went by. Right? Your life is corrupting. It's rusting because you're going after the riches and prosperity of this world. Read on.
And wherein thieves break through and steal.
Right.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
What?
Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
You need to invest your time and energy in heaven, not these riches. Read on.
Where neither moth nor rust do it corrupt, and where thieves do not break nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
So your heart right now is after a bag. It's not after the Most High God. And you have to understand, all right, everything that this brother just brought out is going to rust and rot in that day of judgment. All of the different horrifying events is going to take place. And if your heart is with the riches and prosperity of this world, it's going to go down the drain just like this world. But if your heart is with the Most High God and you're investing in him and not the riches of this world, guess what? You will prosper. You will see what the kingdom has to offer, right? Pick up at 25.
Verse 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?
See that? These birds that's chirping and flying around, they don't worry about what they're going to eat later on, but you do. Why? Because you're putting your faith in riches. You're trusting in riches, right? When you find yourself worrying so much, you have to understand that your faith is not in Yahweh Shah. Your faith is in those things, those materialistic things. And that's why you're worrying. That's why your blood pressure is high. Because you're worried about the actual, you're trying to take on the responsibility of Yahweh Shah. All right? He is your refuge. And when you fall back on riches and when you put your trust in riches, you're actually pissing off the Most High God, man. And these actual birds, they don't have that problem. Yet the Most High God gave us dominion over these birds in the book of Genesis. At the end of Genesis chapter 1, all right, you see that the Most High God gave us dominion over the birds, right? When we read Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3, it says what? The ox knoweth his owner, the ass his master's crib. Yet Israel does not know because you too busy trusting in riches. But yet these dumb animals that the Most High God gave us dominion over, they know who their master is. But you're making money and riches your master, right?
Man, you still ain't got none.
That's it, man. Let me get 1 John 2 and verse 15, and then I'm going to pass it over.
I'm pretty sure. Gotcha.
Oh, praise. That's the spirit.
It's the spirit, man.
That's the spirit.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 15.
Right?
Love not the world.
What?
Love not the world.
You talking about the riches and prosperity?
Love not the world.
Go ahead.
Neither the things that are in the world.
Silver, the gold, the currency, right? The so-called white man's success. You trying to adapt to his spirit and trying to prosper in his world, read.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Do what?
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
You bag chasers, all right? You who are slaving and making the right man rich, investing your time and energy, separating yourself from your family, right? And we love to hide behind the reason, well, you know what I'm saying? My family got to eat. Yeah, your family's eating, brother. But what you want is bigger than that. Let's just be truthful. Let's just be real. Your pride is in the actual currency, the dollar bill. You want a Benz parked outside. All right? That's what you want. You want everything that glitters. You want chains around your neck. You want the newest J's every single time they come out. You're adapting to the spirit of your oppressors, man. You have to understand why the so-called white man despised his birthright in the very beginning. Despised his birthright, the lineage of the Most High God, for something of this world. Right? Read down to 17, King.
Verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world.
So them big rims that you want on your Benz or on your lack, right? You want that lack. That's what you want. You lusting after the design of fashion, right? You lusting after all of the materials and riches of this world. And the Most High God is not found in none of those things. Right? Read down to 17.
Verse 17. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever.
So you're going to stand. The people that's going to be found at the end, the people that's going to actually be enslaving their oppressors and gain power over their oppressors, right? That's going to see the kingdom of the Most High God and what he has in store for us. Those people trusted in the Most High God and not the riches. All right? That I yield.
Con. Let me get the book of 2nd Esdras. Did I read Ecclesiastes? Chapter 12.
Nah.
So let me get 2nd Esdras chapter 6.
I read 2nd Esdras. You want it from the top?
Nah, let me get it. Matter of fact, yeah, let me get that from the top.
It's the book of 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 6 and verse 1.
And 6 and 9.
Verse 9. And it reads, for Esau is the end of the world.
Hey, the people that are ruling this world in the end times, the end days, right? They are going to be the end of the world, but what?
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
When is our world coming?
Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And Jacob, which is the 12 tribes of Israel,
that's right,
is that which follow, right? I'm going to read this. Their world is going to end and our world is going to begin a new kingdom, a new rulership, under Christ, right? God's kingdom is going to be set up the right way. It's going to be our turn. They ruling now, and we're on the bottom. Well, we're going to be ruling, and we're going to be on top, right? We're going to be the top nation, right? The book of Revelation, chapter 21. And I saw a new heaven. This is the Israelites' kingdom, right? The Christ's kingdom. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea, right? And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband, right? Hey, we're going to have our kingdom with all our riches, with all our jewels and golds, fancy linen, and all of those things, right? But we have to set our affections on high, right? Let me get Sirach chapter 9 and verse 7. We have to set our affections on the things above. I'm going to read this real quick. The book of Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So that's what we have to seek after, and the Most High God will add everything else to us, right? We might not get some of these things now, but these things here are going to die and perish. We want the treasures and the riches in heaven, right? That's what we have to put out, make our eyes single to where we focused on that, to where we get the riches that Christ has to offer to us, that the Most High God, the Heavenly Father, has to offer to us. We're going to be joint heirs with his son, Christ. So we're going to get the things that he has, right? We're his brothers, right? We're going to get the things that he has. So we got to set our affection on the things above, right?
That's right.
Read that for me.
It's the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha, chapter 9 and verse 7.
I'm sorry, Slack it, not 7. Start at verse 11.
Verse 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner.
Do what?
Envy not the glory of a sinner. For thou knowest not what shall be his end.
Hey, look, don't envy when you see other people out there living good, making money, thriving, they rich, but they living a life full of sin, because you don't know what their end is going to be, right? Right?
Verse 12, delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember, they shall not go unpunished unto their grave.
Hey, man, look, we looking at their life thinking like they just going to be good. They not going to go unpunished. They living a sinful life, and you doing the right things according to God, trying to live a righteous life. When you poor, or you barely making it, or you just getting by, or you doing okay, but you don't got the things that they have, right? You looking at the things that they have and say, damn, man, I could do that, then I could get what they got. But you don't know what their end is going to be, right? I'm going to read this and go to the book of Ecclesiastes 5 and verse 9. I'm going to read this in Psalm 73, right? This is the book of Psalms, chapter 73 and verse 3. I'm going to read verse 2. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. Hey, King David said he almost slipped, man. But why? For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And he seen how they were living, how they were operating, the things they had. He said, man, I was envious at these people and what they had and their possessions and stuff, right? But check this out. I'm going to skip down to 12. To 12. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastised every morning. And he was going through it while these sinners and these wicked people, the foolish, was living their best life, right? If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. Until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understood I therein. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. The Most High God set them up to be in those positions that they was in, seeing what they was gonna do, right? Slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction. How they brought into desolation as in a moment, right? They are utterly consumed with terrors, as a dream when one awaketh. So, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image, right? Hey, look, he was like, hey, I was envious of them when I seen their prosperity, but then he seen their end, and he seen the things that they were gonna have to go through, and he said, damn, I'm okay, I'm okay, right? Let me see.
God, I just been thinking about, that judgment of those who prioritize these riches, man, and how foolish and how ignorant it is to think that, those who are rich, those who are prosperous, hey, they all right, they doing good. Hey, man, like I said, and like like I read in Sirach 40:1, right? Great travail cometh on those of both low estate and of high stature in this world, right? I'm gonna play a video, and I'm gonna attach a video to this actual lesson. All right, Cardi B herself, she basically explains, hey, everything that glitters is not gold, right? As well as Kevin Gates. I'm gonna play a clip of Kevin Gates as well. All right, we have to understand that, hey, the riches, everything that glitters is not gold, right? Everything is not what it seems, right?
Hey, I'm gonna get this before you bring that out, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get the book. You got Ecclesiastes, right?
Right.
All right. I'm gonna get Second Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 10, because I don't want it to be confused, right? Mm-hmm. For even the Second Thessalonians. Yeah, for even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. Right? Hey, so you gotta work. You gotta eat. You gotta survive. You can have things. The Lord could bless you with good things. We're not saying that. We're not saying you can't have nothing in this world, right? We're not saying quit your job or nothing like that. Yeah. You could live as good as you can while still remaining humble, still keeping your integrity, and still serving the Lord, keeping the commandments, right? Mm-hmm. And I got one more for you. Mm-hmm. The book of, and because we have to, right? The book of Genesis chapter 3 and verse number 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake, and sorrow thou shalt eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring unto thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field, and the sweat of thy brow, of thy face, thou shalt eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it thou was taken, for dust thou art, and dust thou shalt return. So until you can't work anymore, until you die, you're going to work in this present life, right? Until we get our kingdom, right? When we live it forever, right? And we have people working for us because we have the riches and we're on top. So we have to work so that we can eat. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can read that for me, King.
And it's, in correlation to what you were saying, that curse on the sweat of thy brow, right? There's going to be a bag. That bag that you chasing, it's going to always have holes in it. So it's really no point to sit up there killing yourself and idolizing it, right? So you said Ecclesiastes 5 and what, King?
9.
Ecclesiastes 5 and verse 9. Mm-hmm. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. Uh-huh. The king himself is served by the field. Mm-hmm. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver.
Hey, that money is not going to satisfy you, right, Reed?
Nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity.
It's vain, right?
When goods increase, they are increased that eat them. And what good is there to the owners thereof? Mm-hmm. Saying the beholding of them with their eyes.
Read.
The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much. But the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep.
See that? We're going to live our life working, but the rich that we working for, right, they don't want us to get no sleep because they want us to constantly work, mm-hmm, right? But sleep is sweet to us, man. It's like sweet bread, read.
Mm-hmm. Verse 13. There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely, riches kept for the owners thereof to their hurt.
See that?
But those riches perish by evil travail.
And those riches are going to die, right, Reed?
And he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. As he came forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return to go as he came.
Hey, you can't take that money with you, man.
See that?
You can't take that money with you while you're out here doing Lord knows what to get it, being selfish and stingy with it, not helping taking care of the poor and needy, your brothers and sisters that are in need with it. You can't take that money to the grave. Read on.
Con. Verse 14.
No, you're the middle of 15.
Con. Salakia. And shall take nothing of his labor, which he may carry away in his hand. And this also is a sore evil, that in all points as he came, so shall he go. And what profit hath he that hath labored for the wind?
Hey, what profit is it? Because you go on without nothing, right? Read.
All his days also he eateth in darkness, and he hath much sorrow and wrath with his sickness. Verse 18, behold, that which I have seen. It is good and comely for one to eat and to drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labor.
Hey, enjoy the good of all your labor. We're not telling you not to work. We're not telling you not to enjoy yourself, right? Do what thou wilt, but sin not, right?
Right.
It says it's all right. Read.
That he taketh under the sun and the days of his life, which God giveth him.
Who gave it to him?
Which God giveth him.
Read on.
For it is his portion. Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor.
Do what?
And to rejoice in his labor.
Read on.
This is the gift of God. For he shall not much remember the days of his life, because God answereth him in the joy of his heart.
Hey, man, look, the Lord can bless you with a rich portion for you. Enjoy that. We're not telling you that. But keep God first. Keep your integrity. Walk in the ways of the Lord. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy what you got to the best of your ability, at the most of what God gave you, but keep your integrity. Look out for your people, man. Have an open hand to share with your people, to take care of your people. Don't let your people go without lights if you got the money to take care of them, man. Do good unto a godly man, right? You know, and with that I yield.
Con, my last precept is Mark chapter 4 and verse 18. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. All right, so trusting in riches will have you falling out of this truth, man. It'll put a kink in your hose. So every time you turn unto the Most High God, he's not going to work with you. He's not going to answer your prayers. Why? Because you chose riches and prosperity as your God. You're choking the word. You're choking his ability in order to deal with you. You don't have any faith in him. All right? You're taking away his power to actually invest in you, because you're choosing your way and you're not choosing after him. Right? So avoid trusting in the riches of this world, man. Put your trust in your refuge, your only redeemer, the Most High God, by way of Yahweh Shah. I'm Soldier Kazak.
I'm Brother Aharon.
We're the Sons of Zion Israelites. We love you. Shalom.
Shalom.
I mean, if you get rich, how many seats can you sit your ass in at one time? I mean, how many seats you got? One seat at a time. So life's goal is a comfortable seat, quiet, comfortable, awakened seat. That's it.
So you're saying that having a certain amount of money doesn't bring happiness at all? Because I would actually disagree with that.
You can disagree with it if you want to.
Yeah.
But money has nothing to do with your happiness.
As someone who's been dead broke and now has, fuck the watch, you have a bank account, you have savings. Do you feel that you're happier right now than when you were broke, or not really?
Sometimes. It's a sometime thing. Like, you know, it makes me happy. It makes me happy that I'm able to afford what I want. And it makes me happy that I get to treat my family. But I feel like the way that I have money kind of took away a lot of my happiness. Because I remember when a lot of people didn't used to know me and I was stripping and I was broke. I wasn't broke, but I didn't have much money. But I was happy because I get to do whatever I want. And I could have an opinion and I wasn't limited to the things that wanted to come out my mouth. And I felt pretty, and I have millions of people trying to change me. I was happy. Like, I was happy. Sometimes I feel like depressed because it's like I could have a good day, and you never know when somebody makes a meme out of you clowning you that might put you down, or there's somebody that's talking about my family member. It's a 50-50 thing, to be honest with you. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, I can relate to that part. And
like, matter of fact, when I was younger, right, and I see a lot of these celebrities committing suicide, I used to tell myself, why they committing suicide? They're rich. I want to commit suicide. I'm broke. Why y'all want to die? Y'all got money. Who wants to die? Y'all got money. Y'all famous. And so, like, now I'm kind of in their shoes. And it's like, I know why. The peer pressure, the critics, it just drives you kind of like insane.
You can cover all your scars up and down, but it still gonna hurt. Say you love me, will show me this shit for real. Can't play with love, cause that type of shit get you killed. You can cover all your scars up and diamonds, but it still gonna hurt.